activities or trail people on the showground. Thank you very much.
Thank you, George. Rolling now, we have the 9 Pilatus NC PC-7 turbo trainers of the Swiss Air Force PC-7 team. They're going off to form up and hold, ready for an immaculate formation performance in a little while. We're just going to undertake a runway inspection. We're going to have pyrotechnics during those last demonstrations, so just to make sure it brings us back to sort of make its way onto the active prior to the next display item. Please welcome the great and unique Swiss Air Force PC-7 team. Is opening its presentation with a 60 degrees looping, including 9 aircraft in the formation called Flying Diamond. After this looping, transition to Super Canard and then the Super Aero formation. The 9 Pilatus PC-7 aircraft not only give the team the name, it also makes it the largest turboprop display team in the world. As ambassador of the Swiss Air Force, the PC-7 team symbolizes the dynamism, elegance and precision of formation aerobatics. This is our brand. With attractive formation changes and varying figures, our military pilots show you a very professional demonstration which reflects the capabilities of the modern Swiss Air Force. Here we go, the next fly pass in the huge formation called Delta. Formation changing from delta to propeller. The big advantage of this presentation is that formation changes can actively be followed by the public, so may I therefore kindly ask you to keep the aircraft in sight during the entire show so that you can follow this amazing formation changes. Now you see the great change into the very geometric formation called propeller. Speed is around 350 km per hour or 200 knots. Let's go for the propeller. Before then changing to a Vulcan. As you can observe, this demanding formation change doesn't take longer than 10 seconds. Although the changes look quite smooth and easy, I can assure you that with a speed of around 350 km per hour at a distance of only 3 to 4 meters or 10 feet, as again 10 feet between the aircraft, this requires great flying skills and lots of practice, as well as a high level of continuous concentration during the entire show. So let's go now for the next passing in the Vulcan formation now. introduce the commander of the PC-7. It's Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Stempfli, called Stampa, a very experienced professional pilot and a former F-18 fighter pilot. My team is staying just in front of the VIP tribune, is equipped with a radio and gives direct corrective instructions to the pilots if necessary, so that you can enjoy a great show. From your right, you will now soon observe the next fly pass in the so-called Super Losange formation. This formation is particularly difficult to fly because one aircraft is missing in the middle. So let's go now for Super Losange. Fighter jet F-18 Hornet, so the PC-7 Aerobatic displays represents only a small part of the pilot's activities. It's their hobby, so to say. In other words, you have in front of you experienced jet fighter pilots who for the weekend are exchanging their big fighter jet with a graceful propeller aircraft. And this is pretty unique in the aviation world. Next flight pass in the Flying Diamond formation. Separation of our soloists. He will present us some so-called Cuban aids. I also would like to use this opportunity to remember you of our internet site where you have access to additional information, but also to great pictures and videos on this PC-7. So please go to www.pc7-team.ch. I say again, pc7-team.ch. But also visit us on Facebook and Instagram. It's really worthwhile. And don't forget to post a like. But let's come back now to our soloist, who will finish his first solo presentation with this last Cuban 8. He will now make a procedure turn, and for the next passing he will invert his plane, and from this position he will fly 2 half rows. So here we go for the fly pass of our soloist. And now just in front of you, a truly amazing highlight, the so-called Matterhorn or Mega Split. Initially, the 8 aircraft will split into 4 subgroups, and then they will present spectacular crossings. So look at this split. Subgroups of 2 aircraft, each to your right and left. They will reverse and proceed to an opposite crossing. So you will observe now a spectacular crossing of 4 aircraft called a Pac-Man. And then when you see the figure, you will know why we call it a Pac-Man. So prepare your camera. Crossing of 4 aircraft. this amazing crossing, please look to your left where our soloist shows you a slow roll. This is quite challenging to fly without losing altitude. The slow roll. Ladies and gentlemen, look to your high left and high right. The simulated air combat or a dogfight. 2 versus 2, meaning 2 against 2. As you know, these fighter pilots are trained for a real combat, and you will see the simulated air combat right now here in the sky of Fairford with 4 PC-7s. So let's go, 2 versus 2. And it's a finish, the 5th aircraft, our soloist joining this RIAT combat. Look at this, truly spectacular. And now approaching from your left, the speciality of the PC-7 team, unique in the world of formation aerobatics, they will present the 4 single loop. So let's connect to the lead aircraft and follow this unmatched speciality of the PC-7 aerobatic team, the 4 single loops. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Swiss precision at its best. Flying and looping is not too difficult, but to do it in a row like here, this is quite challenging because every pilot has to apply the same force to the stick, fly the same speed in the same angle in order to make it precise and regular. And they continue directly with 4 Immelmann, half a looping followed by a roll. Let's follow now another elegant maneuver, the so-called flirt, approaching from your right. The back aircraft is rolling around the front aircraft, which in the world of aviation can be considered as flirting. Here we go. Very elegant and romantic, isn't it? By the way, 5 years ago, this Swiss Air Force PC-7 team won the RIAT King Hussein Memorial Sword for best overall flying demonstration. Great memories. So here we go, the flirt of the PC-7 team. We stay in the romantic part of the show. Please look straight ahead where the display of our 2 soloists begins. And watch closely what is going to happen now. With the smoke, these Swiss pilots will design something very special for you all. Here they come. Yes, you see it. Yes, it's a heart, including Amor's arrow, a declaration of love to the dear Republic and a tribute to the 100th anniversary of the Royal Air Force. Sincere congratulations from the Swiss Air Force. And the right. And as you can see, the PC-7 turboprop training aircraft is not only a fast but also a highly maneuverable aircraft, which is demonstrated by our 2 soloists. Well, watch now the next close crossing, distance 3 meters or 10 feet only. During this maneuver, the pilots have to support an acceleration of approximately 4 Gs, speeding at around 190 knots. The soloists are terminating the display with the last close crossing, followed by an inverted flight. Here we go. Thanks to our two captains for this impressive display. And now approaching from the right, the super mirror. Have a close look to the lead aircraft. He will turn himself on his back. Let me introduce the pilots of this formation. In the front, you have the leader of the PC-7 team, Captain Cyril Joner, nicknamed Johnny. On the right side, Captain Benjamin Matte, nicknamed Duffy. On the left side, Captain Matthias Grossen, nicknamed Nemo. And in the back, Captain Andreas Menk, nicknamed Mengster. Again, this looks quite easy, but believe me, this requires a high degree of concentration and flying skills. And don't forget, there is a propeller at the front of the aircraft that can really hurt if you get too close. And it's directly continuous. Have a look to the left side. We will present you the beautiful waterfall. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say again that please visit us on Facebook and Instagram, share your photos and videos with us, and give us a thumb up. We really appreciate it. From your right, again, our soloist with a short solo display. He approaches at the speed of 250 knots and flies 2 half looping to then fall into the spin. A frightening maneuver. So here he comes, 400 kilometers per hour, and he goes for the first half loop. He reverses the aircraft full power, climbs for the second half of the loop, reaches its minimum speed and falls in the spin. Now, but as the PC-7 is a very reliable and proven training aircraft, this uncomfortable situation can be recovered easily, which is perfectly demonstrated by our soloist now. The spin of our soloist. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a highlight of this year's presentation, we are presenting you a real tunnel. Therefore, the 8 PC-7 aircraft approaching from the right have reduced their speeds to 140 knots. The tunnel driver on your left. And now let's keep the eyes wide open to find a hole in this tunnel. Really impressive crossing, wasn't it? And the PC-7 team in the landing configuration. is ready for his solo program, starting with a looping to your right. The Pilatus PC-7 is a famous training aircraft and known as the quietest and probably most economical turboprop in its category. The aircraft has been produced by a company called Pilatus Aircraft Limited, which has sold over 450 PC-7s to 20 countries worldwide. But let's come back now to our soloist, who after this looping will now enter a really steep turn. Here he goes. And during this turn he has to support an acceleration of 5 Gs. Our soloist is quite under physical stress right now. This means that he is weighing approximately 400 kilos. Under these circumstances, we really have to be fit. During this solo display, let me give you a few technical details about the Pilatus PC-7 aircraft. The PC-7 is equipped with a Pratt & Whitney turbine delivering 550 horsepower. The maximum takeoff weight is 1,900 kilos, max speed 500 kilometers per hour or 270 knots. It climbs at 10 meters per second or 2,400 feet per minute and has a service ceiling of 7,600 meters or 25,000 feet. The PC-7 was introduced in 1982 and since then used as basic training aircraft for future military pilots in the Swiss Air Force. But here our soloist with his last passing, during which he will salute you by rocking his wings. So here we go, the salute of our soloist for you, dear ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. In the meantime, the rest of the team joined for the formation Pilatus, followed by a looping with 8 aircraft approaching from the left. Pilatus, not only a famous Swiss mountain in Switzerland, but also the name of the manufacturer of the PC-7, as I said before. Have to work hard to stay close formation, and that's not all. Please have a look now at the rear planes. During the looping, the formation will change into arrow. And by the way, the music that you hear has been especially composed for our display. Actually, it's a brother of the former leader who has created matching music. Wonderful arrow formation, and the show continues with the change into the cross, or even Swiss cross if you want. Nice how we can follow this change in formation. So actually what you see right now, ladies and gentlemen, are Swiss pilots in Swiss-made aircraft presenting you the Swiss cross with Swiss precision. Not sure if we can get even more Swissness today. So let's go for the passing in the Swiss cross. And I hear it in the radio, these guys are really working hard to hold the position. With the wind that we have, it's fantastic. And now the change into the attractive sphere formation. Again, the distance between the aircraft is only 3 to 4 meters or 10 feet. We change in speed from 110 to 270 knots. Frankly speaking, flying aerobatics in close formation with propeller-driven aircraft demands the highest level of skills by the team's military pilots. So let's go now for the sphere. to the end of our presentation. To your right, you can now observe the solo aircraft rejoining the team. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm connecting you directly to the leader's cockpit. And the leader of the PC-7 team will present you his best greetings, followed by the fantastic closing bouquet in the beautiful sky of Fairford. Of the Swiss Air Force. Thank you so much.
Well, the police and the medical staff continue to help us keep appraised of the various activities and the impact of a very high stress and temperature index at the moment. And remind you all, please, to ensure you continue to wear hats, put plenty of sunscreen on, drink plenty of fluids, particularly look after the children, thank you, and any other vulnerable adults. That would be most helpful. Do, of course, continue to refrain smoking on any of the grass areas. That would also be extremely useful. Meanwhile, a lot of activity going on in all of the various zones. In the Techno Zone, for example, you can help to create a star with the UK Atomic Energy Authority, perhaps create a new aircraft by undergoing the Fujitsu proficiency test, or indeed land an aircraft at Heathrow Airport under the NATS simulator. Just one of many areas. And if you're thinking of trying to chill out in a different and quiet area, then of course don't forget the Vintage Village, where the D-Day Darlings are performing right now. And later on you can put on the Blitz and help yourself to a good afternoon cup of tea. Back to the flight lab.
Thank you very much indeed, George. PC-7's then rolling out in front of us, and I've seen the F-35A moving on the far side of the airfield. Quick reminder that once we've got the next display item complete, it'll then be on to the Airbus Defence and Space A400M, then the Royal Jordanian Falcons, the Belgian F-16, and then the Royal Air Force Red Arrows at 20 to 5, and still the display won't be over because we've then got the Swedish Air Force Gripen, the Ukrainian Air Force Sukhoi Su-27, the Flanker, the Royal Air Force Chinook, the Finnish Air Force FA-18C Hornet, and very apposite closure to today's display from the RAF Typhoon, and that will take us through until 20 past 6. So, in excess of 2.5 hours of flying still to go. Once again, PC-7's still rolling out, but the F-35 lined up and ready to go once the tower gives him takeoff clearance, but it'll be after the PC-7s have vacated the runway. The F-35 due to return from Duxford after the Red Arrows slot at about 20 past 5.